Heroes, this is Stan Lee coming at you. Want you to know, Marvel has always been and always will be a reflection of the world right outside our window. That world may change and evolve, but the one thing that will never change is the way we tell our stories of heroism. Those stories have room for everyone, regardless of their race, gender, religion, or color of their skin. The only things we don't have room for are hatred, intolerance, and bigotry. That man next to you, he's your brother. That woman over there, she's your sister. And that kid walking by, hey, who knows? He may have the proportionate strength of a spider. We're all part of one big family, the human family, and we all come together in the body of Marvel. And you're part of that family. You're part of the Marvel universe that moves ever upward and onward to greater glory. In other words, Excelsior!
Welcome back, everybody, to Till the End of Line podcast. I'm your boy Juan G here with, as always,
Kikati.
that's our this is our holiday episode, so we hope you guys had a great holiday. We took a little break off, spend time with family, friends. We hope you guys did the same. Hope you guys had a good one. So today we're going to be talking about everything holiday themed, right?
Yeah.
In the Marvel universe. So why don't you break down, let us know what we're going to be talking about.
So as you heard in the beginning, we started the episode with Stanley's speech. He did a little podcast, and it's our last episode of the year before the new year starts. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year.
And it kind of goes back to episode 1 and why we love Marvel, why we love comics, and Stan Lee embodies that Excelsior all the way.
Absolutely.
Yesterday was his birthday, so he'd been 100 years old.
Wow.
Happy
That's
birthday.
Incredible. Happy birthday.
I mean, he
Stan.
lived a great life. He, passed in 2019, and I'm kind of glad he wasn't here for COVID. He didn't have to live through all that nonsense, crazy.
But I mean, he was still going up until like
cameos, and
he was at. I remember he was at C2E2,
Yeah.
and the line for him was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was like the longest line I've seen there. But yeah, I mean, he was still going up until he literally like just couldn't do it anymore. Like he was a trooper, man.
I know he got sick in the summertime, and then he passed away that fall.
Okay.
He had like heart issues and nothing major,
Mhm.
but then it was just a sign of just things continuously.
Yeah, I mean, he passed of old age, which I mean.
Whatever him and Betty White have been drinking and eating.
Seriously, man, we gotta find that out, dude. I mean, because
they've been around forever.
they were doing everything right, like. But yeah, so happy birthday to Stan. We miss you, but you are with us every day.
Fun fact. So Disney Plus released like 9 episodes of this series that they were doing on Stan Lee.
Oh, really?
There's gonna be 2 more seasons of it on Disney Plus that they're creating and gonna be
Like a documentary about his life, or
about his life, and each episode's like based off of like where he came up with some of the powers for different heroes, and everything's themed on how Marvel Comics came about and how Stan Lee created his image.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm pretty excited to see that.
Absolutely,
I haven't seen anything.
We definitely
like
got to cover that
for a while,
for sure.
Future episode coming up soon.
Yeah.
Once all that's released.
Nice.
But for the breakdown, like I said, we started with Stan Lee, giving him a little tribute. Then we'll talk about Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
Yep.
And then a couple of the holiday movies that are in there, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So Spider-Man 3, Iron Man 3, and then Hawkeye are the only 3 that really show like Christmas trees and presents and snow.
Had Christmas in the film or show or whatever it is, yeah.
So any of you nerds at home that want to watch Iron Man 3 and the wife says no, it's not a holiday movie, that's not true. It's a holiday movie.
There is Christmas in it. He literally gives her a Christmas present at the end. So
that's true.
Yeah. So all right, let's get into it. Guardians of the Galaxy came out with a special presentation, and it was the holiday special. How did you like it?
I enjoyed it very much. Watched it at home with the kids and my girlfriend, and
right off the bat, we got to get, what are your stones?
I'd give it 5 stones. Yeah.
Really?
Sure,
Okay.
Yeah. 5 stones.
Nice.
I'm gonna refrain from throwing around the 6 stones as much.
Yeah, we got to really we got to make that like a special thing. We can't just be like, 6, just we like it. Yeah, I agree. I gave it a solid 4.
Solid fourth.
Yeah,
I can
just
see
because it's kind of cheesy at certain moments.
Super
Like
cheesy.
the whole rocking out with Kevin Bacon
Yeah.
could have passed on that. Just because I don't really see him as a musical artist. I see him as an actor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it was fun. Don't get me wrong. It was cool. It made sense for the story. But yeah, I give it a solid 4. I enjoyed it. It was way better than I thought it was gonna be. Cause remember I was very nervous for it because
The Star Wars.
of the Star Wars holiday special tanked hard. It was so bad. But yeah, it was a lot better. It was funny. But on the other side, it had some really good emotional moments in it.
Yeah.
I gotta give a shout out. Great performance by Palm Clementine. The chick with the antennas.
Mantis.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So her performance in that, like, we really understood where she was coming from.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert if you guys haven't seen it. But like, I understood the reason she didn't want to tell Quill why because she didn't want him to every time he saw her to be reminded of Ego.
Yeah.
So like, I 100% understood that. And then like, just her performance of when she told Peter alone, like she's literally crying while she told him, like I think that for me made the whole special.
Okay.
Like just that emotional bond that they were having and that hesitance she had to tell him and why she was scared for it, like just for me did it. Like I really love that part.
Okay.
And his reaction to it was beautiful. Got me right in the feels.
Yeah, I agree.
That whole scene just hit me right in the feels. Hard.
Does that make you my sister?
Yeah. That's the best
cool.
present I could ever get. Yeah, it was awesome. So like I said, there's a lot of funny parts in it. What did you like about it?
Yeah, I liked it that we got to see a little bit of Mantis. She was more of a focal point. We got to see her jump around a lot.
Dude, she's kind of a badass.
Yeah,
I did not expect that from her. Yeah.
Yeah, she has some significance in the future of the MCU.
Okay.
And in the comics at least for sure. She being part of the Guardians of the Galaxy twice because she does pass, but then she comes back, and then so she's part of it now. When Peter leaves Peter leaves, and he's no longer Star-Lord. He gives up the mantle.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think maybe
where they're headed.
Mantis might take the mantle.
Weren't they originally talking about Gamora taking the mantle of the leader of Guardians of the Galaxy?
Maybe the leader, but the leader. I'm talking about the mantle of
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So there's been more than one Star-Lord.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Being like, oh, this is my sister, I'll give it to you. Like,
right.
That's not, that
it doesn't happen in the comics that way, but I can see that happening. The way
100%. Yeah.
And then she also has this power called the Celestial Madonna, and it's like this cosmic power. It's like through the Soul Gem. She works in partners with Norrin Radd, Silver Surfer.
Okay.
And she kind of goes through the galaxy, kind of cleaning up, but all she finds is like a lot of like fear and like just chaos, and she's like it kind of molds her to be a little bit bad.
Okay.
She also has a son who ends up getting this power called the Celestial Messiah. So they like wreak havoc, and Thanos deems her like a big threat.
Okay.
So he takes her out.
Of course.
Yeah. So and then she gets reborn as the goddess of life, and then that's how she joins the Guardians of the Galaxy the second time. But like,
okay.
Like once she like has full control of her body, she has like peak agility, like where she can just like as we've seen her jumping on the wall, scaling things, trying to hunt down Kevin Bacon. That's just
that part was hilarious.
Yeah.
I love that.
And she takes out the police too, like nothing.
Yeah, dude, by her single-handedly.
Yeah, I didn't even know. Like I knew she had powers, and I thought they were always gonna downplay it, and I thought they were never gonna make it a focal point.
I really like how they showed off her powers, like
but
what
I think
she could
with
really
the absence of Gamora, the team needed it. And I think that's why they started using it.
That makes sense.
And then we know Gamora's gonna be part of Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but I don't know what the future is for her either. You know?
Right.
Especially with Zoe doing so much with Avatar, so she has a couple
of movies.
We'll see what happens.
Which, can we just touch on that for a second? Zoe Saldana is just killing it.
Yeah, because part of the two largest
box office hits literally the one actress that has broken the box office records twice in 2 separate franchises.
Yeah.
Name another actress.
And they're all owned by Disney too. So.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, name another actor or actress that's done that.
No,
you can't. No. Like, she was on Jimmy Fallon, and she was talking about, she's like, not bad for a girl from Brooklyn. You know
Brooklyn, yeah.
I just love that. But yeah, I've been a huge fan of hers for a long time. She's
She was
great
in
actress.
Colombiana, right? That was her.
Colombiana, yeah, she was. Yeah, that was a really good movie. That was a really good action movie. Um, she was in Drumline too. She did really good.
Oh yeah,
Drumline.
forgot about
Yeah,
Drumline.
yeah.
Nick
That was
Cannon.
one of her.
That was before Nick Cannon had all these kids.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably where he
10
started
kids
off.
later,
I don't know. But I think that was like one of her first movies that she did. Like that's like the beginning of her career for sure.
Yeah. It took off for sure.
Yeah,
Right
yeah,
after Drumline, yeah.
But yeah, so I've been a big fan of hers from the beginning too.
Yeah,
She was awesome in Losers too. I don't know if you've seen that
Oh,
movie.
it's such a good movie.
Amazing.
Underrated movie. A lot of people don't.
And that's another movie that her and Chris Evans were in.
Oh,
Well, I
that's
don't think they've
right.
ever done anything in the MCU together though,
Endgame.
besides Endgame. But they didn't really like have scenes together or anything. Is what I mean.
No, not necessarily.
And in Losers they did.
Yeah, I know.
Also Chris Evans, like him and Scarlett Johansson go way back, dude.
They've
So
done a
the
couple
beginning of
movies
their career, not a couple, dude. They've done a bunch of movies together.
I mean, they've
Perfect
been
Score
best
was their
friends
first.
for
Yeah,
years.
Perfect Score was their first movie that I think they did together. It's the first movie I've seen them in together, where they play high school students that they go to steal the answers to a test because they both bombed, or like he bombed on it, so he wanted to redo it. So him and a group of other friends just decided to steal the answers. But that's a really good movie. But yeah, so like I like when actors collaborate on more than one project together. I think you could really like it brings out their performance a little bit better,
Yeah.
just because they have that history
The
together.
chemistry.
Yeah, that chemistry exactly.
Agreed.
But yeah, so we got a little bit off track.
So all the movies Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson have done.
Okay. Oh, you pulled it up. All right.
Yeah. So they
How
did
many
Nanny
total does it say?
Diaries, Perfect Score, Avengers, all the Avengers movies.
Mm-hmm.
There's 4 of them.
Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier, yeah.
Yeah, they've been friends since like a long, long time. For a
So
long,
it
long
shows
time.
8.
8 total. Okay. And I'm sure they won't be the last.
No.
Guaranteed
They're
they'll be
still
working.
great friends.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they never dated.
I am waiting for Chris Evans to just, all right, either come out as gay or come out as like with just the bombshell that he's like, yeah, we've been secretly dating for like 10 years. Because we don't know anything about his like personal life or like.
And
his
then that's what he preaches. That's how he likes
yeah,
it.
and I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Like, hats off that he's able to do that for this long. But like, either start a course on how to do it or something, because some of these celebrities need help with that, man. Like,
Yeah.
as big as a star as he is, I'm surprised that he's able to hide that so well, like that part of his life so
And he's
well.
not that big on social media. Like,
Very true. Like, he just started getting on social media, so
Yeah.
like, and that's probably the key right there.
Yeah.
Is social media. It's
especially
probably
when you're in the limelight like that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, us normal folks like that, I mean, we can be on social media all we want.
Right.
It's not gonna really affect our personal lives.
I think it's just another way that Chris is like Steve Rogers. Would you see Steve Rogers having social media?
No.
Exactly. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you, he embodied freaking Steve Rogers. Anyway,
Okay.
okay.
To Guardians of the Galaxy. So yeah,
Yes.
I talked about Mantis and
Mhm.
some of the powers that she has.
Mhm.
What other things are that you picked off from there? I know Cosmo the dog.
Yeah, I like that they put him in there.
Her
Sorry.
Yeah.
I like that
Alright.
they put the dog in there.
with the telepathic powers.
Yeah,
I'm par with like not as strong, but like I'm par with like Jean Grey. And,
yeah. Oh, and I also like that we got to see Groot fully grown for the first time.
Oh yeah, teenager group.
And dude, he's stopped.
He's buff.
He's like solid, man. I'm like, whoa. But I like they kept his face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just on a big body now. Which and then I really
He did
love
on
that.
purpose.
Huh?
He did that on purpose.
Yeah.
And also to prove that like, so he's a totally different group.
Correct.
It's like it's the
like his
son.
son.
Of Groot.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
It's just a whole new group, a whole new person.
You could tell. Yeah.
Different personality, and
Mhm.
even the stature and how they built. So
Yeah. But I really like that. Okay, because we all know Baby Groot loved dancing and music. Like that opening scene in Volume 2, he's just dancing, having a good time. And then if you look at the holiday special, if you look in the background when the band's playing, he's back there dancing.
Is he? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't notice
Yeah,
that.
that's the first thing I
How
saw.
about those presents he made? The clay things that he made.
Oh, dude, those were awesome.
Some of them had just happened. So when the hell
Literally.
did he have the time to sculpt all this that quickly? You
I
know,
don't know. It was awesome.
he just like had all his
Probably,
Phalanges
I would
were-
imagine. Well,
Wasn't
he's
it?
in the trailer. Didn't it show him have multiple limbs when they're shooting?
Oh, for the third movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He
So
says,
he
and
probably
he
did
says
that
we
to
are
make the
Groot
plays.
instead of I am Groot. He says we are Groot.
So I want to know, what's the significance of that? What does I am Groot mean as opposed to we are Groot? You know what I mean? Because like he uses it, but he doesn't use it. Like I am Groot is his main
Word. Yeah.
words, but he says we are Groot. So I want to know is like what is the significance of between the two?
I'll find out. That's
Yeah.
Next episode, I'll have it ready.
All right.
I know the way the pitches and the way he says it changes the words that he say
Mhm.
for I am Groot.
Mhm.
So I know it's a whole language just with based off those.
Right.
words.
Well, that's Thor said
Or
that
forward.
there was it's a course that they took.
Yeah, and that's right.
That Thor took. So we know it's a language you can't learn and you can't speak.
Yeah.
It's gotta be weird. It's just, the whole language is 3 words. It's just how you say different parts of the words.
Forward.
Oh, sorry.
I am Groot and then we.
Oh, right. Okay. If you want to get technical, all right. But yeah, so I did have a question. So what does them being siblings mean for the MCU?
So that's why I talked about the Celestial Madonna
Okay.
and Celestial Messiah. So I don't know who Mantis is gonna have a kid with, or if it's gonna be like.
Do you think that's coming though?
Yeah. So she could have a kid, or she could have a kind of like a Darth, like a Anakin Skywalker Jesus type baby, where it's like.
Oh, just her?
Through
Okay.
the Infinity Stones or through cosmic powers,
Okay.
she just is pregnant now. I think that can be something they can explore. But because the significance of the Celestial Madonna, and then their father being a Celestial Eagle,
Mm-hmm.
and then with all the Celestial things happening right now in Eternals, and in New World Order, they're gonna do, basically all the world powers are fighting over Tiamat, that island. That they
Yeah.
created. So, and supposedly Animanium is supposed to be originating from that. So maybe
Yeah, hopefully we can see that.
the Celestials are made of either vibranium/adamantium, and that's how they're making adamantium.
Or different celestials are made from either vibranium or adamantium. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah, so they're going to mine that mineral and create adamantium, which is a alloy of vibranium.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, so it's derived from it, but it's not vibranium. So vibranium still is the strongest substance, and then adamantium is made and pulled off of that.
Nerd facts.
But
So I'm noticing really quick. I'm noticing that the MCU is really starting to explore this whole like celestial and cosmic power thing. What do you think that means? Is that just because of the multiverse saga?
multiverse, and I think it's going to set up the next saga too. So
The Mutant Saga?
like mutant or Galactus, So
Okay.
Galactus is he existed from before the Big Bang, so he was a normal sized person in the original universe before the universe that we live in now.
Right.
So it all blew up, and he was some of the surviving people, and then he feeds off the planets.
Okay.
Very similar to how the Celestials, they have eggs in the planet,
Right.
and they hatch from there. And they drain all the life out of that planet. So they're very similar. So I would imagine they would make him one of the original Celestials prior to the Celestials we have now.
Okay.
But I think that's what all the Celestial work is leading up to. And we also don't have the Infinity Stones present, I guess, right now.
Right.
The fragments of them still exist, because without them, the universe would be out of whack.
Right.
But that's what I think. I think they're tying and setting all this up through the multiverse saga to set up the next one eventually, because that's
Makes sense. Yeah.
Galactus is the next big bad.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, are they putting it in to just give more of a base for the multiverse saga, or is it going to lead into the next one, which you just explained?
Yeah.
So, all right,
Because if you notice, like
fair.
Not saga, what is it? Phase 1, they tied in movie to movie,
Correct.
but then Phase 2, it tied in like from all into Phase 3, all through into Infinity War.
Well, yeah, I think that's because Phase 1 they were just trying to establish a base
Right.
of the MCU and like really just establish the main characters, like core of
Right.
the MCU. So it makes sense that as we got further along, they started to opening it up more.
Yeah. And
So-
then I think with the shows, special presentations, and then
Mhm.
movies, I think that everything's going to just continue to get more intertwined. There's going to
Yeah.
be this like crazy web of just stories, all just like the comics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's awesome, man. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, me too.
This is gonna be some good stuff. All right. So my last question is, what do you think the future of Guardians of the Galaxy is gonna be after Volume 3? Now, this is a big question because as you all know, James Gunn has gone to be the Kevin Feige of DC.
Right.
He's
Some
the
dark
he's
side.
he's he's the DC showrunner basically.
Mhm.
And he's already working on Superman movies, the script, and everything like that. And he's doing a full reset.
Right.
So with him being in DC, and I mean, he even said himself that the reason that he came back to do Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was because he wanted to tell Rocket's story.
Right.
So that being said, and we're hearing rumors and whispers about someone dying in volume 3. We will save the speculation for later, but so with that being said, and all those wheels moving in that direction, what do you think the future is for the Guardians in Marvel?
Well, the Guardians essentially are like the Avengers of the cosmic universe.
Right, yeah.
They're just not as. They have some big feats and like they have some great things that they accomplish as a
Mhm.
team and like they stop some big things, but
Mm-hmm.
usually Guardians partner with the Avengers on the larger scale. Things,
Right,
you know what
like Endgame and stuff. Right.
I think this gives us a chance to blow up the roster and to start Guardians all over with a whole new team.
Do you think they're gonna do that?
I think so.
And just keep some of the core members, because we know some actors aren't returning because they really only did Guardians because of James Gunn.
Right.
For example, Batista, David Batista, was solely in Guardians because of James Gunn, because he enjoyed working with him so much and stuff like that. So it's safe to say that David Batista's out since James Gunn left.
Yeah, I just don't know.
Possibly.
That Disney money, man.
That's a good point.
That Disney money.
That check speaks volumes. Yeah.
And with Robert Downey Jr. in talks of doing cameo in Secret Invasion.
Can we talk about that for a second, please? Okay, you guys know, and I've said this before, I think the best way to bring back Robert Downey Jr. where it doesn't mess with his timeline and his role in the MCU is have him be Riri Williams' AI.
Yeah, I think
it's the best way. I think it's a way to keep his character going without just messing with his already established character. And I think it's the easiest.
Yeah.
He only has to come in and do voiceover work like Paul Bettany did with Jarvis.
Yeah.
And then we're having the Ironheart show coming out.
Yeah.
I think it's the best way to do it. But now we've seen that there are rumors about him doing cameos in Secret Wars, and then also in not only that, doing a cameo in that. Armor Wars.
Oh, Armor Wars.
He's doing a cameo in Armor Wars because that's supposed to be set before Iron Man 2, before they found out that he was Iron Man actually. Right? It's like in that timeline. Because I know
he knew it was Iron Man already.
No, I know that, but no, not until he came out at the conference and said that.
But that was at the end of 1.
Correct. So this is supposed to be that time frame that he came out as Iron Man and nobody knew but Rhodey. So I think it's in that time frame. I think, or it's either gonna be then or definitely around Iron Man 2.
Yeah, a lot of flashback.
It's gonna be a past thing because it's gonna be, I think, either between Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2, it's gonna be somewhere there.
You think maybe that's why they shifted from it being a show to a movie?
Correct.
Because of Robert Downey Jr.?
Correct.
Yeah.
I think so. And because of where it fits in the timeline.
Yeah.
So like, so yeah, I mean, I don't know. And then him coming back as Secret Wars, I think that could easily be explained as it's a scroll. Or not scroll, Skrull. What is it?
Skrull. Yeah, he could be
Oh,
a
right.
Skrull.
Okay.
He could be a Skrull.
I think that's the easy way to explain that one.
Oh, that would tear my heart out though. Like,
What do you mean?
to see him come back and it's not him, it's a freaking Skrull.
But I mean, look how it played with Samuel L. Jackson and Kobe Smulders. We didn't know it wasn't them till the end.
Yeah,
They could easily do that again with Iron Man.
But it's not Iron Man.
True. I mean, well,
They didn't
technically
snap.
he's dead. So
Yeah.
but I'm saying I mean, I guess the easiest way to explain it is just have him be a variant,
Well, yeah, I think that has to be the best way. Because we don't know.
which is basically just the answer in the multiverse saga.
Yeah.
Just
Because we don't know
Default.
what happened to the Tony Stark in.
No, we do in 818. We do.
What?
He retired.
So he's alive.
In 818, he is. That's why Wanda is a stay-at-home mom, basically, where her twins. Because he successfully made the Ultron and that's why Ultron literally did what he designed it to do, and that way the Avengers were able to retire.
He can put a suit of armor around the world.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's why he's not in Multiverse of Madness.
So he exists? You think he exists there?
Oh, for sure.
So he's not dead.
He's just retired. He's at the cabin with Pepper and
making more babies.
Probably. I mean, what else do you do in the cabin in the woods? But yeah. So I mean, I think those are my thoughts on how the best way to bring him back.
Okay.
We never know with Feige, the brilliant Feige.
Do you think in a
I'm sure whichever way he decides to do it, it's gonna be amazing.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Do you think in a variant timeline? Because in the comics, Ultron was created by Hank Pym.
Okay.
Do you think? I was thinking that those Ultron bots were from Hank Pym, and that Tony in that universe was just dead.
No.
No.
No. Mm-mm.
But I mean, I like your theory. That's pretty legit.
Well, I read an article that was talking about that. That's why we didn't see him in there, because he successfully created the Ultron.
Oh, that's cool.
The Ultron, and
okay. Is that just confirmed or is that theorized?
That I don't know.
Okay.
I was pretty convinced, so I just took it as lore. But I mean, it explains why Wanda's just chilling at home with the kids.
True.
But she still has her powers.
Yeah.
So like
she never donned Scarlet Witch powers.
Correct, because like exactly.
She'd lose everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like I feel like that it fits. It fits like a freaking glove. So it's like.
So in that universe, how the hell she have the kids? With Vision?
I would imagine. I mean, the same way she had them the first time, no?
She never had them the first time.
Or I mean, in WandaVision.
She created them in her head.
Right. How else was she gonna? Vision can't reproduce like normal. Or can he?
No.
Well, okay, we'll see. I think she just made them the same way. It was just not out of despair, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I want kids.
So she used her chaos magic?
I would imagine.
Or are they offsprings of Mephisto? In the comics.
That's a whole nother episode, sir. It's so. I mean, that's what I'm loving right now, and I'm sure you guys are too. But it's what I'm loving about the MCU right now is that there's so many ways it can go.
Yeah.
Like before with Phase 1 or with the beginning of the MCU, there was only one direction it can go.
Yeah.
One or two at the most, because they had to tell a story and it had to connect. But right now, literally, you can just shoot in any direction and it'll still fit.
Well, that's why I put Loki so high in my list when we did because it blew up the sacred timeline.
I'm still kind of peeved at you about your list, dude. I can't. There's some I can't forgive. I'm sorry.
I mean, you don't have to forgive me.
There's
I'm
just
not
some...
asking for forgiveness.
No. Fair enough. But no, I mean, there's just some I can't wrap my head around why you placed it where you did.
But because of how it ties into the big picture. It's always about the big picture. Everything Stan Lee did, all the comics, it's always been about the big picture.
True.
Everything's tied in and interwoven, and he's planned far ahead for all these comics, the same way Kevin is.
Right.
So it makes sense for Loki. Like, you went down the sacred timeline,
Mm-hmm.
phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Phase 3 got really rocky.
Yeah.
And then we had Thanos from 2014 come in and then kind of blew up the script.
Right.
And then this whole time, Kang has been playing this intricate game of watching all of this and letting it play out in his version of it, the sacred timeline. Now that all that's blown up, it makes sense why we're theorizing so much.
Yeah.
There's so much what if of what's going to happen. You know?
Right.
And that's what happens when you let chaos just explode.
Right.
And the sacred timeline breaks up, and we only have what we have.
You know what I do? And I was thinking about this the other day. What I love about how different our rankings are is that it really shows like what we connected to the most.
Right.
It really kind of like dives into your mindset, dives into my mindset, and really kind of explains why we like Marvel for the reasons we do and why we like the MCU for the reasons we do. And it kind of really explains like what was going on in our lives at the time.
Yeah.
Like why you connected to WandaVision so much and why I connected to Black Panther so much. Like it really dives into our psyche a little bit.
Because of our past, currently.
And I love that. Yeah. I love that about it. And I love that's why I think I love why your list is the way it is. Because it really speaks to you.
Yeah.
And like I couldn't have asked for the outcome of that to go any better.
Yeah.
Like that was beautiful.
My list also was not based at all off of like the acting, or the writing of the
Right.
script.
It was solely your connection to it.
Solely my connection to
Mhm.
it and its connection to the MCU.
Correct.
And nothing like there were some parts in certain movies or shows that are just like that could have been edited out. You know?
Right. Yeah.
But like it's because of the grand scheme, like. And I mean, even part of my job. My job is to control chaos at work and manage a team. So like, I like looking at big pictures all the time. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
That was weird. I got with the kiddos. I'm trying to always prepare them and teach them, prepare them for life, and be the voice in their ear that I didn't have.
It fell down. That's what I was. So I mean, that's just part of what makes you you.
Right.
You really like controlling the whole.
No, I don't
not
like controlling it.
Not controlling. like how can I put it? Like putting order to the big picture, to the chaos. Exactly. Thank you. So and like I said, seeing your list was just dead on to like who you are and like why you like certain things you do. And I mean, I hope my list came across that way for me.
Yeah,
you know what I
I
mean?
mean, it fit your personality. I definitely fit both of our lists fit our personality.
Hands down.
Yeah, agreed.
I honestly thought we were gonna have more things in the same ranking, so I was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't like that. Just because, like, from conversations that we have off podcast, that like we have so many things that we like that are similar about MCU or about DC or what have you, about comic books, period. But then just to see your list, it was just like, it was literally like seeing a whole new side of you. And it was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. It was like I said, it was a pleasant surprise. Like I really liked that. I couldn't predict where you were gonna go with that.
Yeah.
It threw me for a loop. I'm not gonna lie, but it was a good loop.
Agreed.
Yeah. So all right. So that was Guardians of the Galaxy. We hope you guys liked it. If you guys haven't checked it out, please go do that.
Yeah.
Try to do it by New Year's because anything Christmas after New Year's is just sad.
Listen to Home Alone. I can watch Home Alone.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, that's a cult classic, so we'll forget that. But let's talk a little bit about some of the Marvel projects that had Christmas in it.
Yeah.
So
Iron Man 3, first one to come out.
That was the first one, right?
Yep.
And that was really like centered around the time of Christmas.
Yeah.
Had a big Christmas theme in it, which I was surprised about.
Yeah, that was the first time. I mean, and I think Kevin didn't want to dive into like a holiday theme.
Yeah, he didn't want to make it a Christmas movie.
Right.
Yeah.
So he loosely had it in there, just to kind of test the waters. Also because of, I think, how, what movie did that one show? Oh, so Sam Raimi originally wanted Mephisto to be part of Multiverse of Madness. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
But because the original script had parts of Mephisto, and he's loosely based off of Lucifer, the devil.
Right.
In certain countries, they don't air.
Correct. Yeah.
So they're not allowed. It's against.
Well, I thought the reason that got scrapped was because of COVID. COVID had them literally redo the whole script because they halted production.
Right, they did halt production.
So that was one reason.
One reason,
and
then another reason was because they knew that if they put Mephisto in a movie, that it was gonna. Certain places weren't gonna air it.
Which is one of the reasons why Multiverse of Madness didn't air in some countries, because of the whole America Chavez's parents being a lesbian couple.
Yep.
That for some reason that was like against their culture or whatever, or religion. So they didn't even air in certain countries. Which I'm like, come on.
Yeah, but I think that was an easier battle to fight.
Correct. And that's really a very small, tight-knit part of the country that is like that.
Yeah.
So.
Versus religion is
so widespread.
Yeah, so widespread, and it would limited what they were allowed to do. But I personally am happy that they ended up doing the with America Chavez and being able to push the LGBT community, because it spoke volume to what Marvel wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And they put, in my mind, people's livelihoods above religion.
For sure.
Which was cool for me.
Absolutely.
So that was something cool that stuck out.
That's one thing I like about not only Marvel, but Disney is starting to get more open about being inclusive about all types of
super diverse.
Yes, dude. And they're not afraid to show it and be like, yeah, we're not apologizing for it. Deal with it. If you don't like it, watch something else.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm loving that.
No, because of the billions of dollars they made. It's
Correct.
not now. Yeah.
And I mean, not only that, but those communities are starting to be more present in every day, and they're starting to be more vocal now,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
And they always
that's
were in the
great.
comics, which a lot of people, a lot of nerds that read this stuff know that. But a lot of people that comment, the common watcher don't know that. Oh, that's relevant. All of
Mhm.
that is, I talked about it on a couple other podcasts where MLK and Malcolm X are based off of. Oh no,
Xavier and
Xavier
Magneto, yeah.
and Magneto are based off
That
of
I
them
didn't
two.
know, which was the coolest freaking thing I think you've
Yeah,
ever
and
told
it
me.
fits their personalities perfectly.
Perfectly.
Just the
How
radicalness of
they're friends,
Magneto
but then-
and Malcolm X.
yeah.
And it's great. It's great to see how that happened. I thought we got stumped. Who was the first person to come out? I don't remember.
Yeah, because you thought it was Iceman,
Yeah, Bobby.
but it was some other person.
The random
Yeah.
person I had no
Here,
idea.
okay, here's my thing. So, like, of course, we're big advocates of the LGBTQ community, and we're glad that they're moving forward in the way they are, and they're being represented more in social media and movies, TV, stuff like that. My only thing is, that's great, include them, but for some reason, I feel like now, and I think because it's more accepted, we're kind of being like force fed a lot of it. Like it's
No.
just starting to be a lot in freaking everything.
Because
It's like,
we're not used to seeing it, but it's the everyday life.
Understood.
Like if you take a real life, you walk down the street. Honestly, the LGBT community is every corner we turn,
Correct.
no matter where we go.
Correct.
And I think and with the vision that Stan Lee had, and I think Kevin's carrying, he wants, the comics and our world to be transparent, and so MCU and our world to be transparent, so where they mirror each other. And that's exactly what the intro, what we started with. Like,
Yeah.
that's what he said. That's your brother down the street. That's
Yeah.
all that. I think what the movement is they're just trying to make it normal,
Okay.
and it might.
And by
Because
including
we're
in
not
more
u-
things, that
Yeah.
normalizes it.
And
Fair
normalize
enough.
it because it's not even something we think about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, so
That's a good point. I never thought about it that way. Like I said, I am in no way am I complaining about it or saying
no,
it's
yeah,
horrible.
I agree.
But I felt like because it's accepted now, they were just trying to put it in everything, and I was like,
Yeah.
take it easy.
I get you.
Like we get it.
But I don't think that's the case because
No,
then it
but-
would be really, really like radical the way they
Yeah,
push it into
and like I said,
And I don't think
when
it
you
was.
explained
It's
it when you explained it that way, it made a lot more sense to me, and now I understand why it's starting to be included in everything, and
because it is the norm.
yeah, and when you explain it that way, that makes me understand it more.
Yeah.
I was looking at it at a different angle, so that's why I kind of was like, yo, chill out, we get it. But yeah, but
Yeah, I mean, it's just. I think it's cool. I think it's great.
Yeah.
It gives another. I mean, just different characters, different actors that can portray, all communities. You know,
Mhm.
whether it's Kamala Khan from Miss Marvel,
Kamala.
Kamala
Mhm.
Khan, and then now America Chavez being Latina and lesbian.
Dude, I'm loving this. I'm loving that Marvel is starting to bring more,
Culture.
not really culture, but more brown people are being represented as a forefront.
Yeah.
Like, you got a young Latina woman being a powerful person. You got a young Indian woman. It's like, now it's not just the all-American white guy that's, leading the charge. Now you got, like, main characters being
Yeah.
people like us. People, the minority are starting to be represented more.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah,
I
it's
love that Marvel's doing that. Could not be happier with that.
And again, it goes back to that's how the comics always work.
Right.
In Shang-Chi,
That's what I was gonna. My next point is that now not only us, but like the Asian community, they got Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
The same way the African American community had Black Panther.
Shadows.
Like now more and more cultures, more and more ethnicity is starting to be represented on the big screen and in a big way, and in a great way. Like with a powerful message and characters that people can look up to and
Yeah.
idolize and stuff like that.
And I think that's why Spider-Man was so. He's the number one superhero.
Mhm.
Cable in comics, he comes back and he says that the number one superhero that everyone loved, the most beloved superhero was in the future was Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Even though after he passed and all that.
Oh, okay.
Because he was a man behind a mask, and he was a kid, went through real world problems. And everyone could relate to Spider-Man.
Seriously, yeah.
And when you saw Spider-Man, you didn't see a race, you just saw Spider-Man.
Right.
That's why I think he was the most relatable.
Mhm.
And then they blew that up and they had other people not wear masks and the whole X-Men honestly was, it just shows that they were the minority and they've always been the minority to the human race. You know what I mean?
I always saw X-Men as the embodiment of diversity.
Absolutely.
So and I think that's why I love X-Men so much, is because they really, really established that this is what diversity means, this is diversity, and this is what we stand for.
Yeah.
It's like, and they were never shy about it. And I think
two of their main X-Men, one's Canadian, and then the other one is from African America, and she ends up becoming the queen of.
She's from Africa.
She's an African American. Storm.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Monroe, yeah.
Sorry. Okay, I'm with you now.
Yeah.
Let's see, and that's what I love. I think that's why I think that's what I'm looking forward to most about the Mutant Saga, is that.
Yeah.
Is them just representing
literally
everybody.
Like, I like the Mutant Saga idea. I don't think they'll do a Mutant Saga. I think they're gonna incorporate.
I thought that's already established. But that's the next saga after Multiverse Saga.
I don't know if they'll call it that. I don't think they'll call it that. I
Why?
think they'll just call it whatever the next saga is. But it'll be majority mutants.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they'll have their own saga.
Do you think that we will get X-Men in this saga or the next one?
Well, we're getting Deadpool, so that's already.
No. But I'm talking about X-Men,
Oh, the team?
like the X-Men movie or whatever, the franchise. Do you think we're gonna
No.
get that? You don't think that's gonna end the saga, the Multiverse Saga,
No,
to branch it into the next saga?
no. We'll
No?
get introduced. We'll get those special features like they talked about.
Well, they've already started to drop seeds of mutants, like Miss Marvel and now
She-Hulk.
Deadpool, She-Hulk. So we're already starting to get those
New World
seeds.
Order with the Animanium.
So we're already starting to get those. That's why I'm asking. Do you think X-Men's gonna come in this saga?
I don't think we'll get an X-Men movie. We might get like a Mutants movie.
So you think it's gonna start in the next saga?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah,
Okay.
it might kick off the next saga for sure.
Right.
Um,
Well, because they kind of are with Fantastic Four, no?
but they're not mutants.
No. But that's kind of leading into mutants, isn't that? Don't you think?
No, they're just
Mutants don't play a big part in Fantastic Four?
I mean, no.
Really? I thought they did.
Not until later, and once they have a child,
Okay.
and then
Fair enough.
Franklin mentions.
But I think if there's gonna be a movie or any kind of franchise that'd be a nice transition into mutants, it would be Fantastic Four.
There's just the first family. There's the first family, superhero family that
Mhm.
ever exists in the MCU.
I think that's just it's a good way to transition. I feel like because they're kind of similar in a way,
Because they're a team.
right?
Yeah.
And then I think it'll just be a nice segue into mutants
I think so.
and any mutant project. It doesn't necessarily have to be
I think
X-Men.
we'll see some variant mutants in Secret Wars for sure.
Uh-huh.
Maybe even King Dynasty.
Well, they've already dropped hints about X-Men with She-Hulk when she asked Kevin when are we gonna get X-Men. He goes, I can't tell you that.
Oh, true.
So they've already established that X-Men is coming.
True.
We just don't know when.
So she say X-Men or mutants?
No, she said X-Men.
She does.
Remember that she looks at the camera and goes,
Yeah.
like, I got you guys. So,
Damn. I don't know. Interesting.
I think it would be a great way to start off the next saga.
I think so too. Yeah. Great way to start it off.
And then, alright, so that was, we got really far off from Iron Man 3, but,
Spider-Man 3?
Spider-Man 3 was also centered around Christmas.
Yep.
We got a nice Christmas present with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire coming
Absolutely.
in.
Yeah.
And also not only them, but basically the Sinister Six.
Ish, yeah.
Ish. That was cool. And what I loved is that they got all the original actors to come back.
Mm-hmm.
That was the best thing. Because, like, if they would have had a different actor, I wouldn't have been happy.
I mean,
about that.
I think Sony did that to establish their multiverse, their Spider-Verse, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So that way they leave room or money on the table for Toby's verse and Andrew's verse.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's the only reason.
That's already in the works, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of saw it as like an olive branch to Disney, like, hey, let's work together now.
I mean,
Like,
yeah.
no
definitely.
more. We're our own thing. You're our own thing. You can borrow our stuff from time to time. Let's work together. Let's partner. That's how I took it.
I hope so.
Having all those characters, because
At the end of
literally
the
it was
day-
all Sony.
Yeah.
So I saw it as more of a partnership.
At the end of the day, it's a no, because Doctor Strange was in there.
No, I meant like having all those actors come back and be in a Marvel movie. I felt like it was Sony's way of being like, you know what, let's partner.
Let's play nice. I'll play
Yeah,
nice.
exactly. Let's play nice. Let's break bread and stuff like that.
Yeah. I hope. I really pray and hope. But at the end of the day, they're corporate entities, you know? They're going to want to make the most money for themselves.
True. I mean, they're two of the biggest biggest
Corporate entities. Yeah.
corporations out there. I doubt that they're going to be nitpicky about. Well, I want to make money.
Well, because Marvel and Kevin want more creative freedom. Because so if they're going
With like everything that Sony owns, like Travis
no,
Spider-Man,
like
or what
they're
do you mean?
he likes to dictate what happens in the MCU. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it would just be a conflict of interest for Sony to just hand that off to them. Because we're
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Sony's trying to hand it off. I'm saying that Sony's like, all right, you know what? Let's partner. Like you guys can do what you want with your guys, and then you guys can just like come in on our projects and
yeah.
you know consult.
Yeah, I don't see anything crossing over. I think the bigger crossover that they have a chance to is using Into the Spider-Verse. So I think if they cross over some of like the what if things or like animated things or what X-Men 97,
Mm-hmm.
like I think animated wise is the easier way for them to cross over more.
Okay.
Because it already looks like there was Spider-Man 4. Spider-Man 4.
Toby's.
No, Spider-Man 4. Is it Spider-Man 4? From PlayStation. The Spider-Man game from PlayStation.
Okay.
That Spider-Man was into
Oh,
Spider-Man.
Insomniac's Spider-Man, the one with Miles Morales and all that.
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah, that's Insomniac. Yeah.
So that Spider-Man was in there.
Mhm.
And
PlayStation
then-
1 Spider-Man. Like
Yeah,
it-
PlayStation 1.
Every
so a lot of
Spider-Man.
different Spider-Man.
Yeah.
There's one that kind of looks like Tobey Spider-Man.
Okay.
There's another Spider-Man that's on Disney Plus, and it's like a younger, like, kiddier animated one.
Oh, the Amazing Spidey Friends or whatever.
Something
That
like
one.
that.
Yeah,
He
I could watch that.
You see his head a little bit. Looks like he popped up in there.
I'm really looking forward to
You
Into
think
the
they're gonna do a
Spider-Verse.
Toby?
Really looking-
Not Toby. A Tom flip over into the Spider-Verse, where they'll see an animated version of him.
I mean, I don't think it's out of the question.
Yeah, right.
I think it's very easy to do. But well, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to just because they have so many other spider people. So I don't think they need to.
I think if we see Tom in Into the Spider-Verse,
Probably just do a cameo.
then Marvel and Sony for sure are gonna do something big going forward with these next 2 Spider-Man
I
films.
see it happening.
Because you have a contract for three new Spider-Man films, not
Yes.
including another Avenger appearance,
Right.
and a couple other things.
Yeah,
for the
Tom
moment.
Holland's gonna be Spider-Man for a while.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
I think we're really gonna see. We're really gonna be able to see this Spider-Man go from teenager just getting his powers to literally a grown man, like establishing.
Yeah.
Getting married to MJ, having kids, and then eventually hanging up the mask and retiring it from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I see that happening.
We'll see.
I hope so. Anyway.
Who's gonna play MJ?
Dude, that's a really good question. Because there's a few actresses I would love to see play MJ.
You think they'll keep? What's her name? Not Zoe. The girl. His MJ.
Oh,
Zendaya,
yeah, Zendaya?
You think they'll keep her as MJ, or they're gonna bring in MJ, real MJ, Mary Jane?
For Marvel's, for the MCU, they'll probably keep Zendaya. I think so. Just because her and Tom's chemistry, chef's kiss.
They're engaged now, actually.
That's the rumor.
No, I'm sure.
But Zendaya's mom, cut that down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there's a lot of rumors saying that Zendaya said no, and that he didn't actually propose, and she shut those rumors down quick.
Huh.
She's like, nope, didn't happen. She didn't say no. Blah blah. Blah. Back off.
That could be just
Whatever it is, dude, they're gonna be fine.
They're super cute together.
They are
They're
adorable.
super cute.
Did you know that Zendaya was Tom Holland's actual first celebrity crush?
Yeah.
He
He said it.
manifested that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He
And
manifested
being
the
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. What did you see that clip about Elizabeth Olsen saying that she would love to have like an on-screen like not romance,
Oh,
like
back and forth.
with
Because
Spider-Man,
she was like,
and
he's
then
cute. Yeah.
yeah, and then he said basically the same thing about her. He goes, "Oh, I'd love to do something with Elizabeth Olsen. She's hot."
No, my man Zaya was fucking kicking around, pissed off.
No, because it's purely an
Yeah, I know.
acting thing.
Did she like stripped naked in freaking Versace? The video with
Who did?
Zendaya. Her like a dress. Picture
No,
away. Yeah, like in the
We gotta
Bruno
pause
Mars.
the podcast really quick, guys.
In the Bruno Mars video, and
What?
yeah,
I am looking that up.
yeah, like she even talks about it on Jimmy how like I don't know what she had did, and then she got a phone call and she answered it. And he's like, "Hey, it's Bruno Mars." And she's like, "Really?"
Right, as anybody would.
Yeah. So she's like, he's like, "Yeah, I want you. I'm doing a video for Versace, and I want you in the video."
Oh, for his song Versace.
Yeah.
I thought you meant for the company Versace.
No. For the video, the song.
What?
Yeah, and then like
That is dope.
they're like,
I might have seen it, just totally forgot.
it's a cool video, but like she's like, I don't know like what I've done to like get Bruno Mars to be like that's sexy. That's what I want out of the video. She's like, I don't know what I did.
Yeah, because I mean, Zendaya's really not known for like her body or being a sexual person or like being a sexy person
Right.
or
She's known for being a beautiful woman in the face, and then just,
great
like,
actress.
great actress,
Yeah.
and great personality.
Like I would see maybe probably like Scarlett Johansson being somebody like who's sexy? Oh, Scarlett Johansson.
But I
Like,
think for
she has
me
a
because she was in
body
what's that
for it.
show in Nickelodeon,
who?
Shake It Up, right? With Zendaya.
Oh, Zendaya and AJ or not AJ?
She's
what's her
because
name?
Zendaya's a good dancer.
Great dancer.
A great
yeah.
dancer. And so she did that show where they did competitions and dances and stuff like that. So maybe that was it. But I don't know.
Honestly, I think Bruno Mars was
came
just.
out like 4 years ago.
Yeah, I think Bruno Mars was just a fan of hers, and he just wanted
Why
to get
not?
her in the video, and she's like one of the it stars right now, so why not?
Yeah.
And she's a very beautiful woman, and can be very sexy when she wants to be, So I get it.
Yeah.
How would I ask you?
did lip sync as Bruno Mars.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's what it
24
was.
Karat Magic.
That's what
she
it was.
did on
I
that
forgot
lip
she
sync
did say
battle.
that. After the lip sync battle is when he called it.
Oh.
That's when.
That makes sense why he did that. He's
Yeah.
like, you know what? You did my song. Come in one of my videos.
that was the reason why he reached out. But she's like, I don't really know what part of that got like sexy.
You got,
And
yeah,
made him think.
oh,
make
she'd
me
be sexy in my
very
Versace
sexual
videos. Yeah.
song Versace. You know. Because it was a battle against Tom Holland, right? Because Tom Holland did Umbrella.
Yeah, he did
Rihanna.
Rihanna's Umbrella, which is phenomenal. Well, he has a dance background too.
I didn't know that.
Yes, yeah, and as you can see, he's a great dancer.
Well, I know he had like a gymnast, like
yeah,
gymnastics
that too,
background.
yeah.
He's very athletic. And,
Or maybe that's what it is. That he had a gymnast background, and then he's just a good dancer, just period.
okay.
Or, whatever it is.
I mean, let me just tell you, man.
That was a fun episode, though.
These
That was awesome.
Geminis in the world.
Oh, come on.
We got the same birthday, me and
Don't
Tom.
even start with that crap.
You know who else is a
Anyway.
Gemini? Chris Evans. Just saying.
Is he really?
Sure is. Absolutely. So is Angelina Jolie, Johnny Depp.
I will give you this. You
Tupac.
do have a strong Gemini roster as far as celebrities go. I will give you that.
Kanye.
All right, you lost him with
Hey,
that one.
music's great.
No, he's a musical genius.
Yeah.
His other parts, he's just. All right, the last one is Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Hawkeye really had Christmas as a center.
Yeah. The ending being around.
Literally, it's like another character in the show.
Yeah. And it happens at the same time that Iron Man 3 happens. I mean, sorry, Spider-Man 3
Spider-Man
happens.
3, yes.
So they're right in the same time. We see the Rogers and musical in both movies.
Which, really quick, be 100% honest.
Would you see the musical? Absolutely.
How-
Absolutely. I'd fucking absolutely be there.
I was like, when I saw that they added that as the post credits, I'm like, I guarantee you Kiki can love that.
Hell yeah, I totally go catch it. With me loving musicals. And
That's why I'm like,
hell
that's
yeah.
literally could not be more of a
It was
musical for you to go
so
see.
corny though. It was hella corny.
Ant-Man wasn't even there.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He wasn't even Ant-Man yet. Like,
well, there's part of the reason why is because Ant-Man tells the story on his podcast about what happened at the.
which we're gonna see in Quantumania, right?
I think so.
Okay.
And he has a book, like a tell-all book or whatever.
Yeah.
In there, he talks about it as if he was there, because technically, during the time heist, he was at the Battle of New York.
Right, the second time around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think him telling him that, and then they just interpreted it as that him being there, and then they made the Broadway music.
I feel like they just put him in there because he was an Avenger. I don't think
Okay.
it was any deeper than that.
Okay.
And why was he a little Asian guy? You mean you tell me you couldn't find a short white guy to do that? Come on. In Broadway? In the musical realm? Stop it.
Nah.
Don't get why he was Asian. Everybody else was on par. Black Widow was a white lady. Steve Rogers was a white guy. Well, they had Hulk be a black guy, but that's probably just because he was big. He was tall.
I don't know. Was he? Was he an African American?
He was
I had no
yeah.
idea.
Well, I watched the assembled of Hawkeye,
Oh, so he's not
and they literally talk about they literally made a musical for it.
Oh yeah, it's like
Kevin
a
was
full,
like,
full
oh, he's like, Kevin's like, oh, I want it to be a legit musical. So they wrote the musical. They worked on the choreography. They had legit Broadway actors doing it.
Yeah.
It was like a full on, as if they were literally gonna go on Broadway with this musical.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why they kind of put it at the end, because they're like, we did so much for this, we got to showcase it.
Yeah. I think they should. I think
But
they
I
should
saw
do a special, like a special presentation of it,
Of what?
of the Broadway musical.
Stop it.
Yeah, I'd watch it.
You had enough in Hawkeye.
No, I didn't.
It's good
I want to watch the whole corny ass thing.
What do you
Start to
mean?
end. It looks corny.
Oh,
as
you
shit.
mean like the entire musical, not
Yeah.
just that part? God damn.
I think it'd be cool.
Of course you would. I'm like, when I saw that part, I was like, this is literally Kika's dream musical. It's comics.
I don't know about
and
dream.
What
But yeah.
what other musical like does not have everything you love in it?
Okay. I get it. I agree.
Come on. We're literally doing a podcast about comics. Like, you can't tell me you won't go.
I mean, yeah, I totally.
You'd be
go see
first
it.
in line at the
Yeah.
Broadway fucking
Absolutely.
comic book musical. So, yeah, but I mean, it was heavily focused on Christmas, and I mean, like, one of the essential plot points of Hawkeye was him trying to get back in time for Christmas to spend with his family.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, I think that if I'm gonna rank them, I think that Hawkeye did Christmas the best.
Oh yeah.
And I think probably because it was just more of a central focus point
Yeah.
in the show.
And his kids were there, and like there was more to tie to, and like we got to see him. You know, he's losing his hearing, and just
We got
all-
to see the after effects of everything he's done as Hawkeye,
Yeah, that's
which I
awesome.
really like that they did.
Yeah.
And I love that scene where he's at the plaque. He's at the plaque of the Avengers.
Mm.
Dude, that got me right in the feels.
Yeah.
Man,
You see
where he's
Natasha
just
thing?
talking to Natasha. I mean, talk about a
Yeah.
powerful freaking scene. That was beautiful. I love that. I really did. Oh, and not only that, but the scene with him and Yelena.
Oh,
Man,
yeah,
that was a powerful performance by
Yeah.
by Florence Pugh.
Good stuff.
I call her Flo. You know, just
She didn't have.
cool like that.
I don't know. I liked it. I really did. I just felt like there could have been more. You know, the whistle was what connected them.
True.
I don't know that whistle. You know, it was like a.
Yeah.
You might hate me, but it felt like a Martha moment. And why'd you say that name?
Oh, for sure. For
You know?
sure. It was Marvel's Martha moment. Absolutely. But I loved every single second of it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you think about it, of course Natasha would have told Clint about that.
Yeah, they're best friends.
Absolutely. I would see it as more of a brother-sister relationship.
Mhm.
I think they loved each other I think their relationship was more brother-sister than best friends. Because of how close she was to his family. And
Yeah.
I mean, he was going to name one of his kids after her for crying out
Yeah.
loud.
Well,
So
Oh, yeah.
kind of still did because
Okay,
he
yeah.
turned out to be a boy. But yeah, I mean, I just love that. I loved what Yelena's character brought to the Hawkeye show, and the story.
okay.
Like I said, that scene was just really powerful, and it really kind of gave us closure to Natasha's story.
Yeah.
I mean, Black Widow did that in itself, but as far as from Clint and Yelena's point, it really kind of closed off that story and gave them both closure.
Okay.
because Clint, the entire series, the entire Hawkeye show, was really battling with that, with him dealing with her sacrifice and him still being there and stuff like that.
I mean, almost as if like having read in his ledger, by the way.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And I
Yeah.
felt like that scene with Yelena was him able to get right out of his ledger.
Yeah.
You know,
Clean
really.
up his mess as Ronan.
Yes.
Some of the after
Yes. So
so brutal.
I think that's why also why Hawkeye was so high on my list was because of that closure that it really just rounded out Clint's story.
Yeah.
The way that Black Widow did for Natasha's story. So I like that it did.
I
that.
agree with her.
And then it also brought us Kate Bishop, and it didn't close
Echo.
Hawkeye, but it closed Clint's It closed off Clint's story, and now we're able to start off from Kate's story.
That part I agree with.
Mhm.
I don't think Black Widow did enough for Natasha.
I think if it would have came out at a different time, then it would.
Maybe.
I think if it would have came out before Endgame, no,
If it came out before Endgame, it would have hit harder
Yes.
when she passed. in
Yes, 100% agree with
Endgame.
you.
1,000%
Yes.
harder.
Tony's death wouldn't have been the big death.
Yeah, I think
think
it
we would
could
have
have
to.
probably came out between Infinity War and Endgame.
Mm-hmm. 100% agree.
I think if it had released in that part,
But you don't think it would have kind of gave it away though, that she was gonna die? They would have definitely had to switch some things around.
you think it would have given it away?
Because
Because at the-
then you couldn't have ended it the same way. You couldn't have had that
Oh,
scene
with
when,
Yelena at the end?
yeah.
Well,
You
okay.
either just cut that scene and then you're fine.
Yeah, cut that scene.
Yeah.
And put that scene at the end of Hawkeye.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Well, no, because that's why Yelena goes after Hawkeye. Because that scene.
True.
You, there's a way to fit that scene somewhere else.
Yeah.
I know there is. But I don't know. I think, yeah, I agree with you. 100%.
Well, then maybe at the end of Winter Soldier.
Oh, Falcon and Winter
Falcon and
Soldier.
Winter Soldier. If it
Would
was,
that have played well though?
because Allegra Valentina was in it, and then she pops up again, and now we've seen only Yelena and.
That would be a kind of a way to bridge Valentina into Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Okay. But she didn't really play that big of a role in Hawkeye, but
No.
it is what it is. But I still think that there's a great way to put that scene in a different movie.
Yeah.
That way you can come out with
I
that
hope
one.
they bring her back.
Who? Natasha?
I hope they bring.
Let's say variant.
Yeah, I mean the way What If ended, and
Mhm.
they placed her in another timeline, and then she meets Nick Fury, and he's like, "You're not my Black Widow." Bro.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And they did it. They set it up already. And
They did.
I think that was what's gonna happen in the future.
And after that whole deal with Natasha and Disney, how they worked everything out.
Yeah.
She said she looks forward to working with them again. So it's possible. Definitely with this multiverse saga, it's definitely
And she's
possible.
not expensive as Robert Downey Jr. You know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, she's still high up there, but
Yeah, she's high up there, but no one's as expensive as that man. RDJ,
I
man.
mean, for good reason though.
Yeah.
I mean, look what he literally carried an entire franchise on his back.
Yeah.
And he's the reason.
Yeah.
For the entire franchise.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so that's everything that we have for the holiday special. But why don't we let them know what we got coming next year?
Yeah, so we're gonna start the year off fresh with Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3 rankings.
Yes. So if you like that episode that we ranked Phase 4, you're gonna really like this next one.
I think again we're probably gonna see a side of me that.
Oh, I'm
So-
so looking forward to that.
So we'll rank Phase 1, 1 through whatever. Phase 2, 1 through whatever. Phase 3, 1 through whatever.
And that it should be pretty simple because Phase 1 is really like 5 movies, 6 movies. It shouldn't take up. We'll be able to dive into and explain why our rankings are what they are because there's not as much in the first 3 phases as there are in Phase 4, just because we have Disney Plus come out with the shows and stuff like that.
Right.
So we got that going, and then we're also gonna be having a few anime episodes. We're
Yeah.
gonna cover some
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Yeah,
And
Ash
Dragon Ball
finally is
Z.
a legend. He's basically laying up the mantle. He's like stepping down.
Yeah, they're
Last
gonna introduce
20
2 more. What do they call it? 2 more.
Protagonists.
They're
Yeah.
2 more. Like.
There's a funny theory. You know how like through each like region, like Johto region, Kanto, all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
There's like a girl that walks around, so Misty and all the other ladies.
All right.
If maybe one of them is actually a kid of Ash, that he would just barely find out. Yeah, I mean, because there was always like.
But isn't
chemistry
he still
between-
like 14?
Is he? I don't know.
Yeah, he's still a kid.
I mean, I don't know that part.
Like, yeah, I get that he's been out for years, but if you look at the timeline, it's not years later. It's just him on his journey. So, like, yeah, it's been years for us, but it's probably just been like months for that kid.
No, I don't think it's been months. Because
Definitely
like
hasn't been long enough for him to have.
in the Kalos region, he looked way more mature and adult. The one where he almost won the championship against Alon, he had the Greninja,
Mm-hmm.
the Ash Greninja that had that weird. Like,
Granted, yeah.
evolution.
So it's definitely probably over some years, but not long enough for him to
Yeah,
have
I say at least 5 years.
a freaking kid.
He has to be at least 24.
Oh well, I was gonna say a really bad joke. But I was like Asian people do it
No,
really well.
no, not on this podcast.
No, but I mean, I would buy the Ashes like early 20s.
Yeah.
At the end of his story, I would easily buy that.
What were you gonna say about the present, like their appearance, that they age slowly?
Yeah, that they age really well. Like
Oh,
they'll
okay,
be
we're
like in
going
their
there.
late 30s and they still look like their early 20s.
Okay, I agree.
Much like Latinos.
Yeah.
We age really well.
Agreed.
I'm 64. I'm just kidding.
Jesus Christ.
But no, so yeah, so we have that coming. And then, well, with James Gunn taking over DCU and started doing a whole reset, we're gonna have a lot more DC content, and we really look forward to that.
Speculating when things are released, and it's just how the whole timeline's gonna work.
Basically, everything we've done for Marvel,
yeah.
we plan on doing for DC. We forgot to mention Peacemaker is one of the DC shows,
Oh yeah.
which I seen. Thought it was a great show. Thought John Cena did a great job. It was funny. I give it a 5 out of 6 stones. I thought it was an awesome show. If you guys haven't seen that, it's on HBO Max. Go check that out. The intro alone will just have you dying laughing.
For the first episode? Yeah.
No. For every episode.
Well,
The
you
first
can't-
episode is
can't
the only
skip.
one you can't skip it.
Oh, okay.
So, and he did that purposely. Like, he wanted everybody to watch it. After that, you can skip intro. Which
Can you like fast forward at least?
Well, yeah, but you don't want to.
Okay.
It's that good. It's so funny. So yeah, so we have a lot to look forward to in 2023. We hope that you guys join us. We are glad that you guys, joined us for the first 11 episodes
Yeah.
that we've had 12 episodes. We want to thank you guys so much for your support, your comments, your love that you guys shown us. We really, really, really appreciate it. I know it means the world to me. I'm sure it does for you. So we thank you guys for sticking with us. So we hope you guys follow us into 2023. And again, comment what you guys want us to talk about. If you guys want us to cover something in a certain episode, a topic, if you guys have questions, let us know.
Yeah.
You can hit us up in the DMs or comment on an episode. Check out our YouTube if you're not on our YouTube. If you're only following us on Instagram and wondering like where are all these episodes, we're on YouTube. I think it should be in the bio, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So there's definitely ways to find us. Find our episodes. We're on iHeartRadio.
Yep.
So that's awesome. It's for our audio listeners only. But yeah, we're really excited, and again, big thank you to you guys for sticking with us and showing your love. But I think that's it for today, right?
Yeah, we covered all our topics. We're excited for the future.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty much
That's it. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us again, and Kike, as always, I am with you.
To the end of the line.
All right. Thanks, guys.